Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Cult Classic Podcast. Sad to be done with our Back to the Future trilogy, but moving on to better things. Well, not necessarily better.
Well, no, I don't think that's right. Different.
Well, you know what? We're moving on to classic cult classics because we're doing a 1997 film, or 90s in general, but we're doing the 1997 creature film, Anaconda.
Jordan, I'll introduce you, our co-host.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Sorry.
It's
everybody.
fine.
Mark, you still here with us?
Yeah, sorry. Okay. It's fine.
Cameron Jones here, along with my co-host,
Mark Nussle.
Jordan Jones.
Anaconda. A National Geographic team is on a mission to find a hidden civilization that is legend to live among the mist of a vast jungle. Along the way, their boat is hijacked by a crazed poacher in a crazy pursuit to capture a giant anaconda alive. Will the crew be able to take back their boat and survive the jungle, or will they be devoured by it? Anaconda.
Starring Jennifer Lopez, Ice Cube, John Voight, Eric Stoltz, Owen Wilson, Danny Trejo, Jonathan Hyde, and Carrie Wooher. There's a reason why there's a large cast. Maybe some will get killed off, maybe none. Who knows?
This is classic, not a good movie, but I like to watch it, and I've seen it a lot on syndication.
It's a great B movie.
Just a very inaccurate description of a beautiful animal, and probably just gave it a real bad rap like Jaws. Anaconda.
Anaconda.
Cast and crew for Anaconda, directed by Luis Llosa. Also did The Specialist with Sylvester Stallone and Sharon Stone, the Stallones and the Stones.
And she's no Sharon Stone.
And then it said known for this one even before that one was Crime Zone. Haven't even really heard of it.
That sounds made up.
Yeah, I don't think I know that.
Music by Randy Edelman. He also did The Last of the Mohicans and Triple X.
Edelman, that name's somewhat familiar. I've seen
what
that
a weird
somewhere.
3 different scores.
Yes, The Last
like
of the Mohicans.
pretty spread.
Is Triple X not just a bunch of like pow, chicka, pow, pow, like new metal kind of stuff anyway?
I think he still somehow
might have
incorporates
some
the pan flute in there. Because he's pan flute heavy.
He is pan flute heavy in this. I do want to say, when this started off, and I know this trickled down, could have been anything. Could have been Jungle to Jungle. It could have been Lion King. It could have been so many ambiguously. I think
could have been the start of an arachnophobia.
We get into a minor key and we realize it's about scary snakes.
There's some scary snakes in there. Or at least one.
No, there's
one
up to
really
3.
scary snake.
On to the cast. Jennifer Lopez plays Terry Flores.
You might be thinking,
Miss
what?
Jenny
She's
from
just
the
a
block.
hip-hop star. No, because Selena launched her into an acting career as well. Maybe we'll do
This
that
did
someday.
come out the same year as Selena. I don't know which one came out first.
Oh, did it
I'm
really?
pretty sure
Might have same
Selena
year.
came out first.
So Selena came out in March 21, and that made her an actor. But she acted and stuff before this. But I think Selena, she's like, what? She can do this now.
On to Ice Cube plays Danny Rich, NWA's very own Ice Cube.
This had to be pretty early on. I mean, Friday came out
I was
before
about to say
this.
Friday after next. I mean, that whole series,
Boys
I
in the
guess,
Hood.
predates it.
I feel like this is like, hey, I'm gonna do other stuff. I'm not just gonna play
Me.
myself as a gangster rap jam. And then he's like, hey, let's do Daddy Daycare and all that shit too. Why not?
What up?
Yeah, are we there yet?
Yeah.
Yeah, then he kind of acted in those. He's just a B-level guy.
Yeah.
Love it. John Voight plays Paul Cerrone.
Popped up in many
back and
things. He
listen
was
to
in our
National
National Treasure. I mean, I know he's popped up in other things for us too, but this might be his worst role that we will feature.
This will for sure be his worst role. I do want to say what people don't remember is when he started, he was a dramatic actor that got nominated for Oscars.
True. And then Anaconda happened.
Now he's not 1997. But hey, go back and follow us in like 2007, and he's a stepdad, or he's one of the dads in 4 Christmases. Go back and listen to our 4
True.
Christmases.
There we go.
That's right.
There it was.
I didn't realize he was the president in Pearl Harbor either.
Oh, yeah, totally is. Don't tell
yeah,
me what's
definitely.
not impossible, gentlemen. He's yeah.
He stands his ass up. Stay tuned for our Pearl Harbor. Cameron might do that one solo, but it'll
I
be
do
worth
love
a
Pearl
listen.
Harbor. They heard something fierce.
Eric Stoltz plays Dr. Professor Stephen Kale.
He is in Memphis Belle. He was mentioned heavily in our Back to the Future series. He was fired from the Marty McFly role.
Mm-hmm. And then you're going to also know him outside of this. Got a little spot in Pulp Fiction. He's the guy that puts adrenaline back in Uma Thurman's character.
True.
He's like the drug dealer.
We will never do Pulp Fiction.
No, it's just too heavy for us. Too much. Great movie. Love it.
That's maybe an empty lie, but
probably.
guys,
but
if you're waiting for Pulp Fiction next week,
you want us to ruin that for you? Come on.
You don't want to hear us.
You don't
like we all like it, but not as not to the level you want. Not as much. We're not ready for it. But
Jonathan Hyde plays the snooty Warren Westridge, the narrator of the documentary.
Clearly, he was in Jumanji. He was the dad.
We just did Titanic.
Monty Hunter. He's in Titanic. Gave
The
Welby
Mummy.
and Richie Rich when we do it.
Sneaky
The Mummy.
We might be
done
doing all 5 of his movies.
We did The Mummy, didn't we?
Yes, we did.
We're out of 4 of his 5 roles that I know. We get Richie Rich. That's it.
Let's just close it out. Yeah.
I don't know if we did The Mummy justice, but go back and let me know.
We're a Cult Classics podcast. We just said we're never going to do Pulp Fiction, but we're doing Richie Rich next week.
Getting it done.
That's the kind of podcast we are.
Owen Wilson is in the film for a little bit. Plays Gary Dixon, one of the boom operators.
This is after
This
Bottle
is
Rockets
Owen
and stuff,
Wilson
right?
before Wow, though. It's like he's not famous yet. He was kind of on the cusp. He wasn't necessarily a comedic actor by this time.
Besides Wedding Crashers, what do you think his most notable role is?
For me, Shanghai Nights, but I think for most people,
that's a good one.
I would believe it's Wes Anderson movies. It'd be like Bottle Rockets, things of that nature.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Wedding Crashers, obviously, first and foremost, I think, at this
Drill
point.
Bit Taylor.
Starsky.
Jordan's real big into Drill Bit Taylor. Remember that movie?
I watched that at Grandma's house in Florida. It was weird.
Me too. I was there
Somebody
too.
must have left it. Yeah, there you go. Shanghai Nights and Noon. I'm kind of a Noon guy.
I'm a Nights guy.
Sorry.
I'm a Noon
I'm
guy.
a Nights guy. I'm a Nights guy. My bad.
Hand up, maybe the only noon guy on the podcast then.
That's fine.
Shanghai. That's the second
we
one,
need
right?
all the perspectives.
No, Nights is
can't
the
have
second one.
Noon is first.
Yeah. Nights
Oh.
is number 2.
Yeah, well, you can't have nights without noon. There's my argument.
There you go. That's a solid argument.
Carrie
I'm fine with just Nights.
Carrie Wooer, hard name to say, plays Denise. 8-Legged Freaks is all I would have recognized her from, which is a great movie gallery poster.
Another creature
That's
feature.
a great.
It is a solid.
That's
Another
a great
creature
movie poster.
That's even more of a campy B movie. This at least feels like, hey, we're just making
They're leaning into it. Anaconda was just trying to be a scary creature feature. 8-Legged Freaks was having fun.
Yeah. They were in on the joke. They're like, we'll give it what you want.
Vincent Castellanos plays Mateo, the boat operator.
He looks
Didn't
familiar.
recognize him from a thing.
Really? Okay. He looked kind of familiar from something else in the 90s, but maybe just like TV, SUV or something like that.
He's of Cuban descent. I looked it up just to see.
SVU is it's like a 4-door sedan.
It's a submerged underwater vehicle.
It's
Sorry.
No, it's fine. Danny Trejo plays Poacher. Sort of gets us in the beginning with a little bit of a scream.
Very brief, very young looking, but still just your classic Trejo, just what he does.
Classic Trejo. Is always glistening.
Oh,
he?
Sure.
Oh, yeah.
Well, in his
Greasy
defense on this
glistening
one,
hair.
he's in a boat and it's in the jungle, so he has maybe a little more dew than usual.
That's fair.
It is
That's
weird,
fair.
though. This came out the same year as Con Air, right? And doesn't he look
A lot
way
younger
younger
than
this one?
Trimmer?
And
Yeah, he
just slimmer,
scrawnier
something's
even, maybe.
different.
Yeah.
Same
Interesting.
year, though. The release date, just FYI.
Maybe that's why he put on all the weight. He's like, if I'm playing a prisoner.
He's also in Toretto's Triple X.
Sure.
But he's also in Spy Kids, and he goes by the name Machete. Is Machete a spin-off of his character in Spy Kids?
I could only hope.
I assume it's an homage, right?
It's
him.
It's him. Same guy.
I'm going to say same universe. Yeah.
The Anaconda is voiced by Frank Welker. That son of a bitch. He's back again.
I thought that
Voiced
was
a bunch
funny.
of Scooby-Doo
real?
kids. He just voices any dog that you've ever heard in a movie.
You're wondering
Like,
what
yeah.
could he possibly be doing? It's all those snake like screams when they're on fire and attacking people that are totally make believe.
Oh,
We got to call Frankie up. Yeah, he'll be perfect for this.
Snakes do scream when they're on fire, I've noticed.
Now we just use robots, but there used to be a time with the voice for mentalists. Long gone, but better days.
No, you got that one guy that does like King Kong and
Oh, but he's
the
also
Lord
a
of the
motion
Rings stuff.
capture actor. You have to also be a full round actor now.
Okay, you can't just be in a booth anymore.
Nope,
you
can't
gotta
do
put
it.
dots all over you wearing spandex. I got you.
Gotta do
Dots
it.
on you.
On that note, should we move it on to Unverified? Welcome to the Cult Classic Movie Phone. It's April 11th, 1997, and currently in theaters you could have seen Robbie and Michelle's High School Reunion, a movie we might
What?
do.
Yeah, we could do that.
I've never seen that movie.
Good movie, funny, or was when I saw it. Breakdown, starring Kurt Russell. The Dukes of Hazzard Reunion.
Mm.
In the Glooming with Whoopi Goldberg and Glenn Close. On the Edge of Innocence, starring James Marsden.
So far, a tough listing, in my opinion.
Traveler with Bill Paxton, Mark Wahlberg, and... Nope, that's it. Traveler with Bill Paxton and Mark Wahlberg. Gross Point Blank with John Cusack, Minnie Driver, and Dan Aykroyd. Paradise Road with Glenn Close.
How many of these movies have we seen, boys?
None.
Collectively.
I'm telling you that I've only heard of some of them.
Yeah, this was a rough
Let
month
alone
for me.
see them.
Yeah.
And finally, a movie we might do, Volcano, starring Tommy Lee Jones. I do like Volcano quite a bit. But
We'd have to do it as a double feature with Dante's Peak. It'd have to be one verse,
That's fine. But you chose Anaconda.
But in reality, what you did was you waited till it was on video cassette or
Rented
more
it,
likely
yeah.
on TNT.
But out of that, Jordan, curious, do you have the box office numbers for this one?
Oh, I do, because this is what you're going to love.
bet it
right?
made so much.
These days are so fucking far gone. Budget, cool, $45 million. Box office, $136.8 million.
Whoa.
Jenny from the Block.
At the box office. There
Ice
you go.
Cube.
Do you want to hear something crazy on
My
top
Anaconda
of that?
don't want none unless you got buns, hon.
Once
You know what gets buns, hun? John Voight, asses and seats.
he sure did. It was the way he ate that peach. I'll get to it later. Just on top of that,
God.
something weird. Well, not weird, but just crazy. Each second of CGI cost $100,000. $100,000 per second of frame. So
That
that's
was
where- that's
stunning
where the
to hear.
budget
That
went.
is...
I'd say overall, we're probably screen time, minute and a half of CGI. What do you think?
Oh,
It's
I don't
real
know.
quick.
Some of those a lot of it is puppets, but there's a lot of fast moving CGI, especially the end.
Yeah, it's anytime it wraps around and bites somebody when they're falling.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
at
you
the end, when he,
played a
like,
bit.
constricts
Yeah.
them. coils
Okay,
them
anyway,
up.
money well worth it. You betcha.
I'd say up
it's
to
a
3
long-term
minutes.
investment and it holds up. Okay, 3 minutes. Let us know in the comments.
During filming of one scene, the controls for the animatronic Anaconda shorted out, causing it to completely lose control, and they used some of that footage.
Terrifying. We had another one of those facts too for
Yeah,
one
what-
animatronic. I can't remember now, but
It might have been Tremors or something where they just kind of let it go and like
yeah, don't
it
do
hurt
that.
people.
That's scary. You should put it down. To put people at ease, some snake facts for you. The anacondas in the film prey on humans with ease, but in real life, large anacondas only prey on large animals such as deer and caimans, but they rarely prey on humans. Also, green anacondas are very fast in the water, very slow on land. Brown anacondas, flip that. Their eyes are not like that. They are circular, but they wanted to make them look more menacing in the movie, and they are nowhere near that big. We practically doubled some of it.
eyes.
Like a dog.
And those are
And I gotta
snake
say,
facts.
it really does take you out of the movie being so inaccurate.
Cameron, one more snake fact you missed.
Oh.
Apparently anacondas, it says practice cannibalism. I don't know, practice cannibalism, but they eat each other. They just also eat each other.
True, I did. I
think-
read that they were more likely to be eating each other than even going after humans because it'd be too hard.
Yeah, it's not that they're opposed to it. It's like,
It
Jesus,
says
it's
here,
not worth the
female
work.
anacondas, which are larger, are known to consume smaller male anacondas. Did you like how I had the chanda in
I
there?
didn't. I did not.
I just
trying
thought that there
something.
might be I'm like, I'm not even familiar with the male anaconda.
So this is kind of funny. So despite its like terrible like Razzies in like reviews, it is the winner of a Razzie. It did have that box office success, and this film is
Remind me what a Razzie is?
it's like the Oscars, but
It's
the
like the
opposite.
flip side of the
It's like
Oscars.
It's like
awards
The
for being
Onion?
so terrible. Yeah.
Got it.
But this film is listed among the 100 most enjoyable bad movies ever made, and Golden Raspberry Award for award founder John Wilson's book, The Official Razzie Movie Guide. So
There you go.
they are on the list.
Paul Cerrone, John Voight, he's trying to capture an adult Anaconda, right?
Sure.
It would just be easier to like capture a baby and let it grow to full size.
Yeah,
I mean, especially
yeah. I read there was no sense in
that
him.
was more common, I guess.
I read though that there was no sense in him trying to do that because they are just bred and then just raised in captivity typically because it'd be very.
But this
hard
is supposed to be like an all timer, right?
Yeah,
This is an all-time. There's a white whale.
kind of. But
Yeah, that's how I.
But
took
we'll get to
it.
that in
That's
comments
fair.
questions.
Okay,
'cause
yeah,
there's
sorry.
Sorry.
white whales.
Yep, sorry.
It was mostly snake facts this week. But
Yeah.
if you have any interesting facts about the movie, please let us know.
Or
It had a
snake
lot-
facts.
Yeah, snake
or
facts.
snake facts even. It had a lot of stars.
I'll lay
in there,
down
so
a
I'm sure we
snake
missed
fact for you
something.
real quick.
What you got?
Read this in the Newsweek for Kid in second grade and never forgot it, so it could definitely be wrong.
Sure.
Snake capital of the world? You guessed it, Guam. I thought to myself as a kid,
No.
not gonna ever go there.
I was
I
about to
would've
say
guessed,
Arizona.
and I haven't.
I thought we were talking U.S., so I'm glad I didn't shut
No,
up.
I said of the world.
Came with
It's
Flagstaff.
Guam. It was.
Flagstaff. On that note, should we move it on to questions?
Comments.
Animosities.
Did it get more intense or sexy? I can't tell. Question, comments. First thing, can I just get a question? Just fact checked. Can we see if anacondas are just aggressive, angry hunters and regurgitate specifically to go vengeance, kill some more? Are they? I don't think they're aggressive.
Hand up. I didn't know they were constrictors.
I figured they were if they were just.
I was
think
expecting
just-
more venom. They're not venomous. They're part of the boa
Nah,
family.
Yeah, but just boa constrictors, anacondas. I think they're pretty much the same, right? Just big old stranglers. Just comment, good or bad. I love a creature feature. I like a good like eight-legged leads. Oh Jesus!
Say it again.
Eight-legged freaks, jaws,
8-limbed
creature
fridges.
at like Jack or Berter, whatever they are. I do tend to like them. I feel
like
like
them.
zombie movies even kind of fall under that a tiny bit.
I agree. Zombies kind of its own subcategory. What I like about them is twofold. One, they're super camp. They're like the theme, whatever it is, wherever the setting is. Here it's on the river. It could be a desert. It could be whatever. Really themed, like an amusement park. Love it.
True.
We're working with sets, but I like the way they look. And then two, it's simple. Survive. That's it.
And
Typically, a lot of
usually
practical
more
effects
it's
too.
more
Sometimes
of an
they-
action movie. Sorry, go on.
No. It's like typically a lot of like practical effects. They at least have one sort of animatronic.
Oh
whether it
yeah.
be shark or gator
true.
or
Oh,
whatever.
you're bound for a puppet. The Henson might be involved. You never know.
and
And also, they're essentially just action movies too, of like the horror genre, which is nice. I mean, it's
I
usually
guess they're
just
kind of
chasing,
like action
running, and
adventure
shooting.
movies a little bit, though.
Kind
too.
of. That's why I like it. Creature features a little
well,
bit.
and if Cameron, you were doing notes before, you were like looking over your notes because you're like, I just need to refresh. If you've seen it once, you've seen it 1,000 times. You know, like
True. It's pretty basic. Yeah.
Within the first 10 minutes, you know who's gonna die, almost in what order.
Oh yeah. Two comments. Number one, you need a swarthy character to die in a creature feature, and immediately they're like, it's gonna be Mateo. They're like, it's gonna be that boat guy. And number two, I've never seen two villains menacingly smile to them so much leading up to them telling us they're bad than John Voight and Mateo. Like, John Voight's face says, I want to touch you inappropriately or I'm going to steal your boat. And he does both.
I mean,
kind of.
if we're already getting to John Voight, he missed the mark in so many ways, but a lot of people allowed it to happen. But it made the movie. Without him, I mean, it's he separates this. From
What were the three
all
movies
other-
this director did?
This
Well, the director, you're saying,
Or
the
am I
score,
thinking
right?
of the score maybe? I was about to say,
You're thinking
too
of the
small to
score.
say no to John Voight. You know, I think that's maybe what happened there.
But if it
is
was the
terrible
director-
accent work.
Yeah, it's the worst. I mean, that'll trickle down into maybe another category later on if you stick around. But
Wink, wink, wink.
it's supposed to be he's supposed to be from Paraguay, right?
Paraguay or Portuguese, something with the P for sure. I remember, but
I'm pretty sure.
definitely
he's a white man
not
from Cuba who's only been
Yeah.
living there for maybe 6 months.
Yeah,
he's
it's
trying
definitely not that.
something out.
I'd say closer to Louisiana swamp guy than like any other
Yeah,
culture.
some
You know, just
Creole.
still something. Yeah.
Real last unverified. You guys probably know him more than I do. Like Roger Ebert
Yeah, two thumbs
So-
up.
says he like actually likes this movie.
Yeah,
And he's
because
like
again,
a
something about it is very enjoyable. It's just clearly bad, which
He
is
called
kind
it like
of
a mass audience, like crowd pleaser or something, like something
Yeah,
crazy.
it's a crowd pleaser creature movie.
Yeah,
yeah. You're just waiting for kills.
Cameron alluded to John Voight being a little more Bayou-ish. You might be confusing that with his role in Deliverance.
Could
which
be.
does take place. There you go.
you, Mark.
Hey, and you know what? We just did that podcast on Deliverance. That's about as much as we could add outside of, talking about the banjo.
Scanning over this, I have so many John Voight stuff. Cameron,
it's
go
mostly
on. Sorry.
him. So I guess this is just a tie-in to, again, the aggression of anacondas. But doesn't it seem like this snake starts following, practically out of the dock? Right out of there, we get that shot of a snake, taking down, a cow or something. The
Amazon's pretty big, right? Yeah, he was just right there.
Yeah, I guess just very...
Probably a good hub for food, I would assume.
There was a wall
They give us a lot of POV shots of the snake. This snake is hunting them from the get-go, because you know why?
Vengeful snakes.
He says, you let the natives be. Fuck you and your stupid documentaries. I won't stand for it.
Well, it's not even that. It seems like there is a snake wall that is just blocking all these dangerous snakes from getting out, and they blew the snake wall.
Well, the snake wall is made of wood, and we've seen it I mean, what do we...
A lot of holes.
Where
do
we draw
in that
the line?
snake wall.
He's just there's a snake wall. I can't get through there.
Is that just a nod to King Kong and other things of going beyond the gate?
Assume
so.
The gates. Okay.
I think though that what they're saying is this region of this past the snake wall has some type of
big old snake.
Not only big old snake, it's more like there's some. It has all of those, but some mystical
power or something. Yeah. So, much like those other old creature movies.
It's not just a big snake. This snake thinks, and
it's
it
a
kills.
land lost in
Hand
time.
up, though.
But also,
I will say,
those mist people just live in there with those snakes?
Yeah, but they know how to do that.
Yeah, they seem unbothered
where
at
they're
the
from.
end.
Okay.
It's
like a tornado warning for us. Just go to your basement. Oh, the anaconda.
Or look out from your garage, however you do it.
Jordan, I'm going to argue that point where most creature features, I feel like they are sort of hyper intelligent and they're thinking and way smart. This one was almost just a big Bertha, big snake.
Just reactionary.
I don't know. It didn't seem like it was learning. Like some of these other movies do.
I agree. It doesn't seem as smart as some of the other ones, especially, and I'm going to reference this, Deep Blue Sea, that's a whole nother plot point.
Well,
but
they
Jaws,
were learning.
Jaws is not the prototype of the big creature feature, right?
Right.
That's not a B movie, but you know what I mean? It's this is a different, it's personal.
It felt
I agree, Mark. Maybe this one is just
Yeah. Should we make a movie from the other side? We're always God, why are these animals so vindictive? And it just shows I don't know, a fisherman throwing something in the water and him being that son of a bitch will die.
It'd be worth a sketch for sure. Can I have a big plot point or a question about the movie?
Sure.
Yep.
You're out on the Amazon. You got your cool riverboat. You picking up some stranger? Or you kind of letting it ride?
I might pick him up because if he needs help, but he even says just drop me off at the next port, no problem. We are not getting
solid.
Or if he's oh, I know how to get there, but oh, perfect. Tell me in detail, but you're still getting off at the next port, you weird old boat man.
Cameron, here's the thing. Then out of the corner of your eye, you see John Voight give a wink to the boat captain, and a couple winks.
Yeah,
and
aggressive
what's going on
staring
here?
at J-Lo for 10 minutes. And I'm he needs to get off at the next dock.
I'm going to wink like they did, and you won't be able to see it, but it's one of these. It's they put the three fingers up there. Hey, okay.
The whole body gesture.
Yeah. But, okay, to that point, though, John Voight and Mateo, they know each other. Mm-hmm. Was this a setup the entire time?
Yes, they allude to that, but I have my question about that because why did they need to do that in the first place? It seems like they just needed a crew or a boat. They had what's his butt already out there. They had Danny Trejo already out there. They had Mateo. They had two boats. What does the crew provide other than
did they even know
way?
Danny Trejo was dead either? So they had their already swarthy little crew there themselves. Mateo owns the boat, I would assume.
The flat-boat, and then Danny Trejo has the other boat that they don't know has been taken by a giant snake.
And obviously they're known because they're in the goddamn paper.
Yeah.
They're we're going to go catch an anaconda. This
is nothing new for these guys or in the town around them. They're they're doing it again.
The only thing I can think of is that Mateo took on an expedition to get money for fuel and stuff for them to just use on the trip.
Like a side quest?
Yeah, and they were just going to ditch them kind of thing, but it makes no sense. If they already had the boats and the equipment, it seems like they already are just snake getters and poachers and wranglers
I understand John Voight's character is bad.
Yeah.
But I don't understand why he's evil to the whole crew. He's just mad with snake fever or whatever you get when you want to catch a big fish.
Either he's trying to use them as bait because he's so sinister, or nothing makes sense.
I did wonder if they were just always bait kind of thing, but I don't think so. I think it's just a bad movie.
Yeah.
Can I have a sub caveat?
Sure.
Hey, you take away the whole snake plot and you take away the whole evil John Voight character. Not a bad time on the river with the crew.
Sure.
That seems like
I
fun.
love
no
a good
problems at all.
houseboat with the boys. And
Houseboat?
Yeah, it's just a National Geographic documentary. What you're describing, what it was supposed to be.
That's not too bad at all. I'd say it's setting, as far as setups and backstories for a creature movie goes, that seems like a good time.
Did they say Nat Geo in the movie, or are we just assuming they're that good?
I found that in the description and a few times.
Oh,
in the
I
plot
did see
summary,
a tag.
so.
Yeah, I did. See
So
that.
I'm assuming they're not lying to me. Just question you guys. Did you notice sometimes the lighting was really weird? And it was mostly in like daytime.
Day for nighttime.
Well, yeah, daytime.
So this happened as a budgetary thing.
Yeah, and I think
they would just make it darker with the
notice that,
filter
actually.
and shoot it during day when it's supposed to be night.
Well, not only that, there was some of that, but even just some of the daytime shots looked like bright soap opera lighting. And I think it's honestly because they had different filming locations. Some were like in a jungle, some were in the Florida Everglades, and some were
I actually have
somewhere
that,
in
actually.
LA. So I think just the lighting was wicked different and it just didn't match well in all of it.
I'll also say for the size and budget of this movie, which does make it feel even more like a B movie, did it seem like the first 30 minutes of the movie, every piece of dialogue was dubbed?
Yeah, kind of, but it probably was.
Well, I understand that it was, but I'm like, why everything? I felt like I was watching a
jungle
foreign
noises, I
movie.
assume, just bugs and.
God damn it, guys! We just can't just rack.
I'm sure it was
that
loud
kind
as
of shit.
shit.
Can't get it. Yeah, all right.
I bet they had to.
Yeah,
Just-
Cameron, you're
just
right. They did some filming in Brazil, and then most in like an arboretum in like LA with like a little river feature. So
And you can tell, you can
Yes.
kind of tell
Yeah.
a little bit.
This is supposed to be in the Amazon, correct?
Yeah, I believe
correct
so.
in that? Okay,
I think
just
it's the
wanted to
Amazon
double
River.
check.
Just an animosity, and this is just any like scary movie really or anything, but just never leave the boat, but never get in the water. If I'm in the Amazon, there's not a chance I'm getting in the water. I think I'm just too scared.
I think Cube's got to know that that's at least in the cards for the documentary. He's gonna have to get in the water.
I'm definitely gonna have waders or something where I'm like not
Waders,
making
that-
full contact
Waiters,
with
there
water.
you go. That's actually a pretty.
And as soon
key.
as like someone goes missing, like Mateo, I'm never getting in the water again. I'm not going back in, especially
Cameron,
when he
that's a
doesn't
good
come
point.
back.
The whole time, like when John Voight's character is getting his shoes and his khakis all like just wet and grody, like I'm just like waiters. It's just easy solution.
one of my biggest pet peeves in any movie genre is how willing people are to get their feet wet and how it's not that big of a deal. Think about the last time your foot got wet. It ruined your whole fucking day.
Especially
Well,
jungle, just trench
in a
foot. I'm
sock
pretty sure,
or in
well,
a shoe, right?
Yeah,
Sock,
what I learned
you're
from
done,
Forrest
yeah.
Gump, you got to keep your socks and your shoes dry. That's just an accident waiting to happen.
Have you ever jumped in a pool with socks and shoes on?
Terrible.
It's
I
hard.
haven't-
It's
I have
hard
not.
to swim.
Oh, it's tough. You got to kick that stuff off or you'll drown. Another animosity. John Voight eating a mango sticks viscerally in my mind, and I didn't like it.
Oh, weird. I have that as a like.
What do I
Really?
What do I have written?
It's my number one like.
Here's my exact phrase.
He even eats that evil.
Didn't love the way John Voight was savoring that mango, dripping down his chin with all the lip smacking noises.
I didn't get that at all. I thought that was like, that's just jungle
But
eating. That's,
just
what
the
you
way
do.
to eat a mango. Okay.
You guys ever eat a mango so ripe and so pure like that? It's like, it's a juicy. And you got to stare somebody down when you do it. You got to look
Jordan,
right in
do
the
you
eye.
remember- Do you remember an old coworker we had who would like cut up
That's a
apples
Freudian
with
slip.
his like cool knife and like would like
Oh, he's a
sit, like-
pirate. You knew
Yeah.
Mel
Yeah, sit
Gibson
like
from
a
The
pirate.
Patriot.
Yeah.
that it just gave
The
me that
name
vibe.
I don't remember, but
No,
I remember
I
people
just-
probably doing that.
Perfect that you don't remember the name. It's probably for the better.
Yep, I'll leave it out. I have a question, right? You put yourself in this movie scenario. Obviously, stuff's going awry after.
Kale has the wasp.
No, I would say after Owen Wilson dies, right? You're trying to beeline it home, but at what point, as a crew, are you like, we're just gonna murder John Voight's character?
Oh, so much earlier. Well, like not even that. Like let's rewind a second. So they give up on getting Kale to the hospital so quick. Owen Wilson's character Greg immediately flips on the crew, and he even like helps hold them up
With he gets
John
like
Voight.
Stockholm syndrome real quick. He's one of those guys that started being like, yeah, I know Nazis are kind of bad, but I'm one of them now, and I'm looking for Jews. Like, he flipped quick.
Yeah, immediately.
John Voight was ordering people around. I get it was Mateo from the jump, but like he was ordering people around from the get-go.
Yeah, like that's your sign. Like, hey, we got to get this guy off the boat. Like, yeah, he's ordering our boat guy around. There's a there's a familiarity that I feel uncomfortable with these two.
I guess the bigger question,
Exactly.
if we're putting ourselves in the real scenario of the people on this boat, should his accent and the way he looks not be a red flag to them as well? I wish they would mention that.
He was forced from his country, and he lives on this river now. He's not to be trusted.
He's like, on the river. I'm like, Jesus, bro. Like, what's going on? Like, I don't.
Like, okay, but I get that.
You
like
French now.
I get that.
Hey, is that ponytail real or fake? You tell me.
Oh, that's real.
Couple yanks on it.
I get that, like, they're being held up now at this point, but we really give up on getting Kale to the hospital at all. Like, their main thing
You
should be
forget he's in the movie until he comes back at
for
the
that
end.
one scene.
Oh, yeah.
That one scene at
see
the
it.
end where they're like, "Oh, he got his throat all bloody again," and they put him back down until the end.
Well, no, he was fine because apparently fucking John Voight can do an emergency tracheotomy.
Yeah, of course you can. Everyone can if you have a pen, Mark, because I've seen this movie and a few others.
I know, I'm sure it made people feel weird, but they never bring it up again. Like, oh, did that river rat guy with the ponytail and the weird accent just do a tracheotomy on our... I don't know what his job is.
Yeah,
Like,
now I'm
producer?
thinking
Director?
ex-mercenary who is shamed from his country for doing war crimes. That's who we're dealing with now.
War crimes.
Why
you
did he
wish.
save him?
Yeah, touche. Well, because then if he died right away, they would just have to go back, right? Well, I guess it's more of an emergency anyway. You're right. Should have just killed him.
Why did he fucking save him? Yeah,
You saw the way that guy
If he
ate
died,
a
it's
peach,
just
right?
like, well-
That guy wants to cut throats. It's just what he wants to
Yeah,
save.
he just
him. He's
likes
like,
the blood, Mark.
You take the good, you take the bad. I cut a throat today. It's a good day. I'm on the river.
God damn.
Did he save him? Is that guy making it?
He made it to the end, yeah.
How long can you...
I think
a
they
trick
shot
out.
the documentary at the end too. I think they
Had that scene with the
mission
mist people.
successful.
I mean, he's not
What's the native tribe? What's the native tribe?
I forget what they were called now. That
Whatever they're called, I like at the end. It's like, hey, look, there they are.
Oh,
we
shit.
did it. We got there.
found
in
them.
the
There
end.
it is.
We lost
There it is at the end.
we lost 80% of the crew. but,
Lost
you know,
7 people. But yeah, it's not
it's
too
a smaller
bad.
cut now. Now we're just splitting this between a couple people.
Grab the camera.
No, but
Yeah,
yeah,
they just like, hey, we're professionals. We're gonna deal with whatever happened
There's
on the
still
river
snakes
later.
in the water too. It's not that.
Oh,
I
it's a
don't know you
dangerous
killed all
area.
of them.
yeah, you know, there's a you battle 3.
It's
you got to
the
imagine there's
Amazon.
more.
They're not all isolated in one like area.
Yeah,
So-
Mark the wall, the wall. They are.
I forget
isolated.
about the snake wall.
That snake wall is not keeping any snakes out.
No,
Like, what are you talking
not
about?
keeping John
That's
Voight
like
out.
his. It did though.
you know though. I think
it did for a long time.
I think it's supposed to be more
That's
of a
the confusing part, John. What's going on?
Jordan. I think it's supposed to be more of a hey, snakes get worse beyond this. Don't come in here kind of vibe.
Yeah, this is a warning. This is like a do not pass. You know, like,
snakes get worse.
yeah, it's not good here. This is for the natives and the snakes. It's not for you. John Voight's like, how can I get past this wall?
Dynamite
John
isn't
Voight
the answer. It's like maybe
Dynamite?
it's like a sledgehammer or a hefty kick in a few places.
You want to talk about all the times you shouldn't go in the water? I'm not setting dynamite with the river bandit.
No.
I'm not dipping my toe in the water and be like,
No.
we're good to go.
And
We got it set. We're going to blow it.
And they do not move the boat back far enough at all. They should be around the bend and not just within sight of the blast. They deserve all
True.
that shrapnel they get buried in.
His brain was clouded by wanting to find the white whale.
All that shrapnel was just
To find it.
snakes.
To Jordan's point earlier, when should they have gotten like Tom Voight out of there? As soon as Gary dies. When the mutiny with Gary fails, you got to just push him in the water and hope he dies.
You know what I just realized now? Denise, the counterpart, does anybody even...
What is she
Are
doing?
they themselves tallying that she's not there anymore? I feel like none of us, the viewer, knows that she got
Her body pops up at the end when they're like, oh, but she's
Oh, that was
just-
her?
Oh, there she is.
Yeah, she pops up
I
at the end there
guess.
when everyone else is
don't
dying.
remember.
It's because when John Voight gets loose, speaking of which, hops up from a complete sitting position to like 5'3" to strangle someone, Denise,
Which
with
is
his legs.
believable.
Well, no,
Yeah.
CrossFit did not exist back in the 90s.
Yeah, but
so-
river life was hard, I guess. He's always fighting currents.
Stunning move. From a seating position? Are you kidding me? He jumped up 10 feet and strangled a girl with his thighs.
Gymnastic maneuver. Impressive.
This is no
That's
shade
stunning.
to Denise, But if you allow yourself to get strangled,
Yeah, you got to just get
From a sit-
get with the stabby.
it's kind of on yours. You shouldn't have been in that position, right?
You should have just looked him in the eye and stabbed him. That's what he would.
I do like though how you kind of us the viewer. There's a lot of snake action going on. We're setting up the rope, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you just see Denise kind of fall off the boat in the background. I'm like, that's a little fun.
What was her role on the crew? Was she just the
Sound. She was with Sound. With Owen Wilson, I think.
I think
Some
she was
sort of
more like a
production.
PA/producer type role.
Some sort of
just kind of a
production.
jack of all trades, master of none.
PA. Yep. Okay.
Yeah.
P&A. TNA.
Also, just a classic horror movie.
Wow, that's-
just when you're starting to like Westridge, you got to kill him off. They do follow just like classic tropes. It's like it's easy to watch. It's paint by numbers.
I think Westridge is my favorite
He's
death.
funny.
It's my favorite death. First of all, ain't no need to be on those rocks, Westridge. You've been drinking wine and swinging golf balls for 3 days. You don't got the balance, but I appreciate it.
He should have stayed behind he should have stayed behind the waterfall. It seemed like the snake was kind of confused. If he wouldn't have yelled, just maybe been fine. Been fine.
What is that? It reminds me of what's the chicken or the egg?
Jurassic Park?
Yes.
Yeah, it's one of them. It's 2 or 3.
But it's that same sort of like lizard looking right at your face. I would like to listen to a documentary narrated by Westridge.
He probably has.
He's got a good voice.
Animosity. There's a shot after that scene with Westridge where that waterfall is going in reverse, and clearly they just needed the
Is
boat.
that for real?
Yeah, they
I
clearly
missed that.
They clearly
I knew it
needed
going
the
in, and I
boat.
still missed it.
They clearly needed that boat going in the opposite direction. They just reversed the same shot. Immediately, I could tell the water was going up. I'm like, something's wrong here.
I like that big budget movies like this would do something. I would be like, well, they probably won't notice.
Yeah, I know. They couldn't
It
just
had
do
to have
any
been
other
like a
panning
situation
shot.
where it's like it was already edited, and like they're like, wait.
We're not gonna change it now. Nobody will notice. Look at that. 27, however long, 1997.
Note to young filmmakers
Almost
out there: always get extra B-roll. You just never know.
I've got you a question.
Mm-hmm.
John Voight gets regurgitated. Is that Wink like rigor mortis, or does he actually? Is he still with it?
I don't
He's
know
like,
if it's
"Oh,
like
I
a
don't-"
saucy wink. Like it's so stupid. Everything.
That might be my only real animosity to the movie. I don't know how to interpret this wink. In any
His
way.
death is satisfying, and then the wink is so unsatisfying. It almost
Yeah.
takes all the.
He's like,
gratification
cool.
away.
It's and to trickle down back to that. So
It's
we
him
get
saying
through all
like, "Had
this.
this coming, right?" Huh?
yeah, right. Totally, huh? Fucking snake got me.
Live by the
you
snake,
know?
die by the snake, huh?
How the fuck did he get there? How far did he swim down the river?
Oh, well,
How
that's
did
my
he-
biggest question.
I actually
How does he
really
catch
don't
up to
know.
that boat after he gets kicked off? He swims right behind him, like 5 minutes behind
Well,
him.
isn't there like a horse tranquilizer in his back? Like he's just drowning.
Yeah, he
He's
got
dead.
shot and knocked
He's already
out.
dead.
Is he? Yeah, he drowned, but then somehow instead woke up and then almost beat the boat back. That's crazy.
It's fucking crazy.
He's just full of snake rage. Really is.
Oh, I gotta trickle down. All right, he pours a bunch of monkey blood on Ice Cube and Jennifer Lopez.
Mm-hmm.
Wouldn't it suck to make it through all of this and then you get some blood-related disease from a monkey? You're like, oh no, it was the monkey blood. You're like, it was.
Oh,
the monkey
it was
blood.
all the monkey
you have-
blood, yeah.
yeah. You have.
Oh,
I'm sure there's a bunch of nicks that they all have on them, if not straight up.
oh
Cuts
yeah,
from-
especially in that scene, they're acting like that exploding tower wasn't raining bricks like right on top of them, 1 foot below the water. Like that shit goes straight down, but miraculously it
Turns
missed
out
everything.
J-Lo and Ice Cube brought coronavirus over to the U.S. That's just
Yeah, for
That's
real.
what it
Brad.
seems like. One more question about that whole. What's the deal with the human bones? What bones are we supposed to insinuate that he's dealing with?
yeah. And they were dry.
He's got
They were so
bones
dry.
dust.
Oh, that dust there?
Yeah.
You know, whoever was at the dock before, because
Just-
clearly the snakes have made it out now that you destroyed the wall and they're on the rampage. Also, just animosity. They're so vindictive. That snake is on fire and still just chasing J-Lo.
Look at him!
I don't think.
Look at him!
I don't think it knows that they were responsible for the explosion. It's just an animal still. It's acting like it wants revenge.
No, that animal was like, "Oh my god, I'm on fire!" It didn't know that J-Lo, and it's like I'm
Was
burning
anywhere
alive.
near them.
I'm very badly burnt. I'm in horrible, horrible pain.
That Anaconda
And
has
I'm led
never
to
seen
believe
a
it was-
J-Lo. It was hungry.
That's true. That's true. Never seen.
You want a
J-Lo.
trickle down thing? Like back in the day, '97, people made such a big deal of how big J-Lo's ass was, but it's just a normal human ass. And what we've come to as society has gotten just
Like now we've got Kim
incredibly out of
K's and like Nicki
Yeah,
Minaj's.
but these are like man-made asses. Hers was like a real ass.
Yeah.
Like it just has changed, and I can't believe that we've gotten to these huge, ridiculous asses. But like hers, like they made such a big deal about her ass back in the day. I don't know if you guys are too young to remember that, but like,
I mean, we used to like them flat and white and just, pancake. And then the times have changed, Jordan.
I guess that's
Cover
true.
that up, high society.
High society.
The last comment I have is just you actually never see them get back to society. They got rid of their captain, anyone who can drive the boat. We see them like get shots of the civilization, and then it pans away.
Who do we got left? We
don't know
got
what
J-Lo,
they're doing.
Ice Cube, and Stoltz, right?
Yep.
That's it.
And Stoltz probably is on his way to bleeding out anytime
Yep.
now.
I've never seen Anaconda 2. Do we answer this?
Neither
I
have
don't know.
I.
I've never seen
Anaconda
it either.
does.
We might have Anaconda 2.
And also, we already know that Ice Cube beached the boat once. Like, God knows how. I mean, like, they're going to beach it again.
Oh yeah,
just
that's
learned.
actually a real plot point. They would have been smooth sailing, probably, right? If he didn't.
John Voight was still leading them into, like, snake territory. So, I mean,
That's true.
A mutiny was happening no matter what.
But when they beached the boat there, that's where people started getting crushed by a
Eaten.
snake, right?
True.
So this,
Westridge.
Cameron, good point. The snake is vindictive enough to kill Danny Trejo at the beginning for seemingly nothing. He must have done something to piss
on
that
the river.
snake off.
Just, it kills anything on the river.
On the river, monkeys.
That's it. Snake rules.
Loves monkey blood
Sure.
enough to smell.
Even though I think
no,
I read that
from
snakes
afar.
do not eat those monkeys at all.
He is vindictive. He is smart because he taunts
must be.
them with the monkey as bait.
Oh, he
He's like,
did.
"This
That
your
was-
fucking monkey?"
That was a sassy
that's some-
move.
That's a sassy move. That's a sassy snake move.
It's a smart snake.
This your fucking monkey? It's drained of the blood. You give me another monkey, you're gonna have problems.
Oh, here's a good time to bring this up. Body count 6 total.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Multiple.
Count
No,
Trejo.
sorry, 6 humans. 6 humans. A fish, a panther, a wild boar, a wasp, 2 monkeys, and 2 other giant anacondas.
Yeah, we do know that there are multiple giant anacondas out there, so we don't know if we're always following the same
2.
perspective.
At least 2 or 3.
At least three, because we kill one at the beginning and there's 2 at the end.
At least 3. The black and red one's kind of cool,
Yep.
though, right, guys?
It
Pretty
kinda
cool.
Is, kinda is.
Wow, I did not realize there's so at the end there's 2 different ones. I was
Which
not.
means
Yeah.
there are more.
That's my bad.
Yeah, they never made it
Yeah,
home.
which means,
Cameron, you're
and
right.
plus all those babies they blew up. Yeah, then there's no doubt there's Anaconda's sequel out there.
I'm telling you, it's gonna be way more sad than that. It's gonna be like malaria or all the monkey blood problems they had. They're definitely not making it out though.
Oh, here and for my last little comment, it's a little feel good paragraph that I saw on Reddit. This poster says, "I got sat on a plane from Boston to LA with John Voight next to me. He was looking through the movie menu on the back of the seat. I didn't want to bother him, but I asked if he was looking for a movie that he was in. He smirked and nodded. I told him Anaconda, Mission Impossible, and National Treasure are all available. So he and I watched Anaconda together. It was a special. It was a
shit.
special moment in my life. It's just a fun movie. It doesn't take itself too seriously. He gave me the nickname Cowboy." And then
Nice.
he posts a picture of us in the baggage claim with John Voight. Like, what a fucking story that is.
That's kind of fun.
You know what's the craziest about that? John Voight's like, "You're gonna like my acting in this. Let's watch it together."
I know which one to choose.
This is a post from John Voight. It's like, I sat next to a kid.
Listen to what I did.
You're like, "What are they playing on the
That's all I
plane?"
got.
I don't know, but I brought my portable DVD player. It looks like Anaconda's playing.
Have you seen this?
On that note, should we move it on to recasting? Welcome to recasting. It's a pretty tight cast, but also quite a few of them, so we're going to try to go quick. Mateo, the boat driver. I did John Leguizamo.
Ooh, fuck, that's better than mine.
Often
Damn it.
plays a villain character. He's not the main villain in this, but, a nice side character, a goon.
That's actually a good one. I almost had him for Poacher. I did Hiroyuki Tagawa. He's in Mortal Kombat.
The main guy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like just a boat driver. I feel like
Jack.
he should Actually, you know what? Fuck that. I'm doing the dude from No Vacancy in School of Rock. Just his little slender
Snake?
body in some sort of
Okay.
lingerie.
The guitar player that does
Yeah.
that swarthy dance. Interesting. See that episode?
Oh,
Is his
on
name
a,
Snake?
on a
Maybe.
side note.
Spider.
God, I hope
Oh,
so.
I think
Spider.
he does
It
have.
might be
Oh, it might be Spider. got his tattoo, whatever it is,
Viper or
tattooed on
something.
his. On a side note, this is trickled down from before. They get over Mateo just not being there pretty quick. He's like, he's gone to the river. It's like, okay, let's get on the fucking
Jordan,
boat.
he was a boat local. He wasn't part of the crew.
That's true. All right, so for my Mateo, I went Lou Diamond Phillips. I thought, of the time, 90s, 97.
I considered it, honestly. I like that. La Bamba. We'll do that eventually.
Hey, yeah, Richie!
Okay, let's go on to Denise then. I like mine, actually. I did Jacqueline McKenzie. She's in Deep Blue Sea. She plays the same character. She's the scientist's wife that's hysterical after he dies. It's a very similar role.
I went R&B Mandy Moore. We got to get another artist in there. Why not?
Okay,
Shove her in there.
I went 1997 version, Leslie Mann. Very much Big Daddy version.
Oh,
I'm okay with
Jungle
that.
version.
I'll take Leslie Mann.
Okay, sorry. George of the Jungle version for Mark in the top right corner of my computer screen.
Next, let's do Gary. That would be the cameraman, the Owen Wilson character. I just kept it Wedding
Correction,
Crashers.
he's the sound guy.
Sound guy, sorry. I just kept it Wedding Crashers. I did Vince Vaughn, and I'm pretty sure he plays the camera guy, sound guy in one of the Jurassic Parks. Possibly
He's definitely in like the
Really?
second one.
Like number 2 or 3?
Yeah, he plays the Owen Wilson character in 2 or 3. I forget which one. 2. It's 2.
I want Matthew Lillard.
Okay.
Ooh, I
That's
was
fun.
so close to going Lillard, but I went David Arquette.
Okay. I'm fine with all the above.
I don't think anybody got it wrong there because we all picked
No one got
guys
it
from
wrong.
the 90s.
We need
And this
someone
could have
fun
been a
from the
role
time.
they all did, and this is just proof that everybody could have done these same roles at that time. I like Lillard the best, actually.
Westridge, I like mine actually a lot. Steve Coogan, Hamlet 2. He's the director in Tropic Thunder.
Damn, that's good.
Right?
Got to see
You're
his
gonna
face.
know him from the other guys as the person that keeps bribing them.
He's also in Hot Fuzz. See that episode? He's one of the first cops. He's like, "How's the?" I was like, "How's the?"
You want me to go up?
Wait, that's perfect. I love that. That's
Damn
good.
it, that one's better than mine.
thank
I'll go
you.
next because I want mine to be forgot in the mix. I went Kevin Kline. I just
I'm okay
felt
with that
it.
as well.
All right, I know he's not British, but he's
No,
sort of.
but he has a proper
doesn't have
voice,
to be
and
British.
he can be fancy and not good in the jungle kind of.
I could just see him not being good in the jungle. I could see
Yeah.
him wearing the outfit. I could see him hitting the golf balls, and I could see him drinking wine.
Yeah, that all works for me. Mark, who'd you have?
Tim Curry.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Fun-
I like that.
Mark,
Damn,
you
that's
actually
good.
nailed it. He actually was a what if?
A what if?
They did.
I
Reach
try
out
not to look
him.
at those anymore because it ruins like who I always like am thinking.
I'll get
of.
to it
But
after this, but
you
this
know
one has
what's
a
fun
huge
about
list.
you know what's fun about the what if? It's like when you get the same answer as in Final Jeopardy, but you were wrong. You're like, oh, at least I'm on the right track.
On the right track.
Or sorry, you were wrong with somebody that was also wrong on Final Jeopardy.
Next up, let's do Kale. He is the person that gets the tracheotomy or the hole in his neck.
Can I say something before we go there?
Sure.
There's a lot of times I see movies and I go, that seems like an awful role. Like someone that has a lot of running scenes.
Oh, this one's
You
easy
sign
to
me
beat.
up for anybody that gets
Sleeping
a
Beauty.
tracheotomy. Great.
Someone
Great
who
fucking role.
gets severely
Not
injured
a
in the
bad
first
paycheck.
act and only comes through the ending to be like, we made it. That's a perfect role.
Good role. Not a bad gig.
And still somehow the love interest.
Yeah. Still
Ice
kind
Cube
of a
got
star.
snubbed. What a friend zone at the end there.
Yeah,
Fuck.
Ice Cube had to be in the water a fuck ton.
I
Guys,
kept it
for you.
a Memphis Belle connection. Also in Stranger Things, I just did Matthew Modine. He'd be a younger version of him, but
Jinx. I literally had that. I did Matthew Modine as
nice.
well.
Mark, who'd you have?
Coach Bombay.
Okay,
Emilio
all the way.
Estevez.
Billy
Nice.
Estevez. Interesting. I don't hate it.
I
Don't hate it at
wanted
all.
to make the joke. I'm gonna
Sort of-
replace him with Matthew J. Fox again. But
I was about to
just
say,
couldn't
I almost
see the
like
role.
that because those two are kind of, interchangeable a little bit with me. Only one's funny and one's intense. Let's do Danny then. That's the Ice Cube
Yep.
one. I'm keeping another 90s star who's also a rapper around the time, Will Smith. It'll be a little funnier, a little less intense.
He's on my list. He's on
With
my
the
list.
5-finger say to the face. Slap. Wild Wild West?
Oh,
Not as familiar
No.
with Wild Wild West. I'm sorry.
No, that's not a Wild Wild. I was just making a slap joke with Will Smith.
Okay. Oh, gotcha.
With the 5-finger say to the face.
Missed that. Yeah,
Sorry.
missed
That's it.
Sorry.
Chris, right? Yeah.
Jordan, who'd
I don't
you
know.
have?
You could have maybe. You could
Well,
have maybe like.
I definitely
serve it up
didn't
better.
I didn't put a megawatt star there like Will Smith used to be. I put Anthony Anderson.
Anthony
That's
from-
just fine.
Yeah, just he's from Blackish. He's
Okay.
in The Departed. You guys know him. He's just a person.
He's Anthony Anderson. Mark, who'd you have?
Anderson.
Ludicrous.
Luda,
Oh, damn,
famous
that's good.
from the Fast and Furious series. Well, not from
Pick
that.
any
but
90s rapper.
Okay, so
That
if
has
we're
to be
going the
part of
90s
it.
rapper route, I would
That's what I
have gone,
did.
well, 2000. I was going to go Nelly then. I'm going Nelly.
Nelly's fine. Ja Rule's
hold up.
fine.
Nelly was in The Longest Yard. He tried his hand at acting. That's
Yeah, he
a
got
fine
some acting.
response.
Obviously,
but
Cameron.
actually, outside of the music realm, Anthony Anderson, I could see that. He doesn't even have to be like from Compton. He could just be like the whatever.
Yeah,
that works for me.
and I think if there was any humor,
Videographer.
if there was any humor intended for Ice Cube, which we can all agree didn't come across at all, Anthony Anderson would have brought that in a little more plucky comic relief as the sidekick.
Sure. Yeah, sure. Up next, we have Terry Flores, the J-Lo character. I did Selena Gomez. I like her, and I've been trying to put her in more things recently.
Team Selena.
Team Selena. I like Selena Gomez quite a bit.
I've actually. Well, this isn't what you're watching, but I love Only Murders in the Middle.
Only Murders is the shit.
I'll get to it.
I love that so much. Huh? You know.
Jordan, who'd you have?
For the record, this is no shade. I think J-Lo's not a good actress.
Sure.
Just in generally everything that's not Selena, this is no difference. And Femme Fatale from the 90s, it seems like that's what the role is. I'm picking Halle Berry. Gonna knock this right out of the park.
Wow, really taking up an acting notch. I like it.
See, you think
It's
so,
kind of,
but she just has an Oscar. But she
What do
makes
you
a lot
think
of
about
bad
the
movies
look
too.
about taking the role away from your Latin heritage, Jordan?
Well, I was gonna try to give it to a German
Because
which is
I'm
also
going
my
with
heritage.
Hillary Swank. I am though.
She's
really?
Yeah,
Hillary
Swank.
Hillary Swank's she's
I don't even really like her that much, but I could just see her.
well. If you wanted to keep it, someone who's also Latino or Latina, could we do a Selma Hayek? Could we just toss that in there? That'd be
Sure,
fun.
I'd go Jessica Alba instead, though.
Actually, for that pick, it's Eva Longoria.
Fine with that
There you
as
go.
well. Those were all better. Yeah, I liked all those.
I'm still solid with my Halle Berry. Like that's a can't miss. That would have been great.
Last but not least, before we move on, we have Cerrone, the villain, the John Voight character. I'm keeping it with someone who I think would do a funny accent. I'm doing John Malkovich.
Yeah, that's a can't go. Raul.
Yeah, it'd be perfect.
I could see him with like a weird ponytail too, like maybe bald on the top.
Oh,
For
Still
sure,
a
bald.
long
Yeah.
ponytail.
Sure, rocking the ponytail.
It'd be a very similar.
That's so sick.
Jordan,
Can you think about how awesome him pouring blood on you would be? He'd really make a meal out
he'd
of it.
really flat. Yeah, he'd really splash.
Well,
it
and
on.
then let's not talk about the mango scene either.
Yeah, it'd be,
It'd be
great.
much more menacing. It wouldn't make me feel as
Sexual.
cringeworthy. Okay, so
Like the Oreo from Rounders.
I that's true. I'm glad we're transitioning to all the sexuality of the mango and the weirdness that we're gonna feel. This
Okay.
might be too much, but I'm going John Travolta, baby.
Okay.
Okay, I could see him making some weird
ponytail is
villain
there,
choices.
too.
He is gonna commit to the fuck out of whatever his accent is too, and he's not
Yeah.
even gonna think twice about it.
That's not a terrible call.
I thought
I'll go
about
with
this
that.
one long and hard. I was close to Malkovich, and I thought somebody would say it, so I'm like, I gotta do something.
A late '90s Travolta is a pretty good area.
It's a weird
this
time
movie
for
to be
Travolta,
into.
yeah.
Yeah,
It's
that's
a
what I
weird
mean.
time for sure.
It's a weird time.
Mark,
He might
who
have
do you
actually had the ponytail.
Who's debatably the star of this movie?
Defoe, Willem Dafoe.
Oh, that makes it like a better movie.
Yeah, it's gonna come out not
It
being
might
weird.
actually.
It's just gonna be he's
He
gonna
might just-
act it well. He's
Yeah.
gonna be menacing.
Would he be doing an accent?
No, he would just be Willem Dafoe. Because when have you ever heard
I
him do
think
any
there's a
accent?
caveat. No matter who you do, you have to have.
In which case, it might turn out
Paraguay-
equally as weird. So
Yeah.
that might work too.
So Megan suggested one that I couldn't. I used them a couple weeks ago for Biff,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm sticking with the accent. Gary Busey could also work here, but that's Megan's. That's not mine. It'd
Okay.
be rough though. It'd be real rough.
I could see him living on a river, being disgraced from a country. Yeah.
Okay, well that was fun.
Let us know what you thought of our recasting this week. We're going to move it on to Mount Rushmore, top 4.
Mount Rushmore, top 4.
Welcome to Mount Rushmore Top 4. In honor of John Voight's performance, we are doing the worst accents in movies. We're going to go...
Now, does this mean like? So in this one, John Voight does a bad accent, but we still like the movie, or is it just any bad accent in a movie? It
We're
doesn't
going to keep
matter
we're going to keep it open to any bad accent
All
in a
encompassing,
movie.
right? Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
but I do
Okay,
like
cool.
many of these. This week we're going to go Mark, Jordan, me. Mark, what's your bad accent?
I don't know how I got lucky to be the first pick, but you guys are fucked.
Maybe. I have a lot to choose from. What?
Put the bunny back in the box. And it's Nick Cage and Con Air.
That was definitely on my
What an
list.
accent.
Back in the box.
I was hoping someone would say it, but I
bunny
didn't think it'd be number one. Nick Cage with Con Air.
It's my number one for sure.
Cameron Poe.
Good name.
Go back and listen to our Con Air episode.
Do you
think we did
include him
Con Air.
in your Camerons?
Oh yeah, he's a cool. I mean, yeah, he's badass. He killed someone with his bare hands.
He might be the best
rule.
one.
You have to be a cool Cameron for Cameron to.
That's
Well,
factual.
like
you're
a Cameron.
gonna love this, Cameron, because
Okay.
I am gonna take it to the actress Cameron Diaz. If you've never seen
Okay,
Gangs of New York,
nice.
she might have the absolute worst Irish accent ever put on film. And this is a movie made by Martin Scorsese. It's got young Leo when he's up and coming. It's got Daniel Day-Lewis, some of the best actors in the world. And she's out here, tatar-ti-ti. It's fucking awful, and I don't get how it happened.
That's
it
a
is
hard
terrible.
accent to do. Like even like
If you can't do it, switch
Don't
character.
touch it.
Yeah, or
Yeah,
just,
you just
plenty of
stay
people
away.
weren't doing accents. Just don't do accent. You know?
Yeah, you're good.
Also, I feel like who directed that? Scorsese.
Scorsese, yeah.
She's an American implant. She grew up in
Yeah.
America. She doesn't have an accent.
Yeah.
She doesn't need to have an accent.
Yeah, just
Yeah,
don't
you're
use
good.
her.
I mean, it takes place in New York, so I believe she is an immigrant. Just make her American.
Yeah, easy peasy.
Okay.
It's awful. It's very
That actually
bad.
pisses me off.
For my choice, I'm going to be doing a beloved icon and podcast actor, but I'm doing Keanu Reeves in Bram Stoker's Dracula. It is maybe
Yeah.
the worst English accent in history. I mean, it's what you'd imagine. It's Keanu Reeves speaking, but kind of properly. That's essentially it.
Yeah, it's bad. It's a bad go. It's
That
a bad
has
go.
to be so bad. I haven't seen that.
It's not good,
it's,
but
it's alarmingly bad. And he's also acting. His counterpart is Gary Oldman.
Jordan, where does this fit? You like the accent and it's bad, or you like the movie and the accent kind of it's fine.
Just a tough go. Just
Tough
it's just
go
a
around.
tough get for
movie's
everybody.
fine. His accent was hard in it.
It's just such a miss.
Can't.
With that,
He
we
was
lead
committed.
into-
I'll say this: his accent was consistent.
That's true.
It was just consistently
It was
bad the whole
consistently
time.
bad.
That's something I've heard. We'll get to it, but like that's something I've heard on these lists where it's like,
Faltering in and out.
yeah, it just changes the whole time. How can you even say like it's an accent? It's
At least
just
he
that
kept
bad.
the same. Oh, well, with that, it gets us to our honorable mentions now. What are some of the other ones that are on the list? I want to disappoint Jordan. Kevin Costner's Robin Hood is
Yeah,
on many
yeah.
lists.
See, I wrote that down, obviously, but let me say this: I don't think he was trying. I don't think he even attempted an accent.
I think he tried a
Maybe
little.
like two
Was he
words
just
the whole
English, or
time.
did he try to do a British accent?
If he tried, it was not very hard and not very often. I think it's like 4 words. It's pretty bad. If he was really going for a British accent, that one, man, rough go.
Missed the mark.
Dick Van Dyke's Cockney accent in Mary Poppins. That's a big one on.
Yeah,
That's
on
classic.
lists.
That's usually like number one.
Chem chemine chem chemine chem chem chero.
It's pretty bad.
It might be one of the most iconic though accent jobs.
True.
They let it slide. He's he's beloved by that role.
The more offensive version, Mickey Rooney's Breakfast at Tiffany.
Yeah,
I don't know that one.
it's rough. Watch it. You'll be like, what?
He's playing.
should-
It's
I'll
Mickey
YouTube it
Rooney
to you
playing
right
an
after
Asian
this.
person doing a very harsh stereotype. And
Oh Jesus,
I'll let Cameron.
that's just
try
more
to-
offensive than anything.
oh yeah, it's 100%
It
what it is.
was.
It's also
He's
just
a
bad.
big character in the movie too. He was the plucky comic relief in 1960s, but it's rough. It is
sure
just.
was.
It
I
seems
didn't
like
see
even back then it'd be rough.
I didn't see this on many lists. It's fresh in the mind. But Michael J. Fox in Back to the Future 3.
Sure, yeah.
That is tough. That's
It's not a
tough
good
one,
Irish
too.
accent. It's a hard
I
one.
get it's,
Maybe
it's
you can
not,
get
he's not,
yourself
like,
a new
trying-
hot.
It doesn't have to be good, but it's bad.
And again, you don't even got to give him an accent. I'm sure it was fun for everybody, but the character
Yeah,
didn't need it.
It didn't need it.
Good movie, not great accent. Blake Lively in The Town is kind of a harsh Boston
I wasn't on
accent.
my list. I thought of it while we were talking just now. That's funny you just said that. Yeah, it is bad. Oh my god.
It's aggressively trashy. It's a bit
So
much.
you know what we've all left off
Wear
on
the
here?
khakis.
There are so many English actors who do American accents who are like, it's not working.
True.
But I've left them all off my list. But there's a lot of those.
Let us know of some of your favorite terrible accents in movies that we left off the list. But thank you for listening to our take on Anaconda. If you like what you heard, make sure you like and subscribe on your favorite podcast app, rate and review. If you want more content out there, check out the whole Majestic Jam Network. I'm Not Crazy, Urban Hermit, and the Highwire Podcast. Until then, we'll catch you on the next one. Bye.
Bye.